Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. An XRP YouTuber shared some information which turns out it looks like it's probably the case that a particular individual went to Congress. A video clip was unveiled by a crypto ED, and people in Congress ended up finding out about this clip specifically because she shared it. And so they wrote a letter to Gary Gensler and they cited crypto ED in the footnotes that specifically the link, which leads to this video clip, where this guy says something that is clearly in direct conflict with what he said to Congress, sworn statements. So probably really bad for that guy, but cool to sell that one of my fellow XRP YouTubers is having that kind of impact. So I'm going to share with you the specifics here. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, right? I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics. But just as a hobby, and just for fun. So here's a tweet from Crypto Edie. She wrote, "The tiniest footnote can make an impact." And here, I'll just make this full screen for a second, then we're going to circle back to actually what this was. I got to do things sequentially. Or else it's not going to make sense. Kind of properly set the table here. But here you can see number of individuals from Congress signing on to this thing. And there you go. That's Crypto Eddie's Twitter account right there. I just think it's cool though. It's like all this stuff that's been uncovered by our communities, our community, it has been impactful in many different ways in many different instances. And this is just the latest cool example. Alright, so just a quick bit of table setting here. Oh, there's a headline from May 23rd. This is from Crypto Slate. Prometheum becomes first crypto company to be approved by SEC FINRA, a special purpose broker-dealer, New York-based Prometheum Ember Capital PMC for short, secured regulatory approval to become the first crypto-focused company to register with the US SEC and FINRA as a special purpose broker-dealer. Prometheum Inc., PMC's parent company, announced the development on May 23 and said it allows PMC to operate as a qualified custodian for digital assets. However, the firm will not offer services for Bitcoin due to the limitations of the license. And so here's a quote from Aaron Kaplan, the CEO of Prometheum. "We expect that custody and assets in an SEC-registered broker-dealer will provide the regulatory protections needed to re-establish investor confidence, increase institutional adoption, and allow the industry to flourish." End quote. So there you go. Is this Aaron Kaplan just proven that every other entity out there in the United States is just going roguelike? No, we're not going to read that we were bad bullets being playing by the rules. Secretary, there's no registers? Is that really what's happening? Or something fishy going on here? Now, look, we in the XRP community, broadly speaking, have been wondering what the ever-loving hell is going on here. Because this Aaron Kaplan guy with Prometheum, although they technically been around for a number of years, nobody had really heard of them. Until very recently, we started hitting the news here. And then this guy's getting approved for this by the SEC. Which, by the way, just my understanding, is there particular restrictions and admissions that go along with this, which aren't actually favorable for the world of crypto, including the fact that the reason they're actually not offering any services for Bitcoin, think about that. They're the world's largest, best-known cryptocurrency, they're not providing services. Why? Because with the license that they've got approval to custody digital assets. That can be deemed securities. So Aaron Kaplan here, Prometheum, is saying, yeah, well, we can house just about everything effectively. That's what he said, but not Bitcoin, because that's not included, he believes, are the limitations of this particular SEC license. Well, isn't it funny that that's exactly what the SEC is arguing in the SEC versus Ripple case with this embodiment theory? XRP represents all of the efforts and promises from Ripple. XRP itself does. It's the embodiment of that, the abandonment theory. So then Aaron Kaplan is saying stuff to that effect in front of Congress. And then Gary Gensler ends up actually even citing this guy. At some point, I'm not gonna play the video, but I think it was, yeah, June 6th here Gary Gensler was on CNBC talking about this stuff and nobody else is registering, but we're making progress. New Prometheum coming in. And this is not actual progress. This is nonsense. Boo-cha hoo-han jibber jabber, but that's what has, and so he came in and you just kind of were like, this looks so fishy, what does this guy know anything, this even believe the things that he's saying here? It's very peculiar. So this brings us to June 16th. Now here's a headline from the Crypto Basic Prometheum founder, says SEC will win Ripple lawsuit XRP community reacts. That's right. So that's the guy on your screen right there. This is the CEO of Prometheum, Aaron Kaplan, and he says the SEC is going to crush them. Repeller's piece reads as follows: Aaron Kaplan, founder and CEO of crypto broker Prometheum, has recently thrown his weight behind the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. In a recent interview, Kaplan said the US SEC would win its case against the leading blockchain company Ripple. Quote, "I anticipate the SEC will win this Ripple case as every indication points to a decision in the commission's favor," end quote. And says he said to host Bobby Del Rio in an episode of The Daily Dropped show. Okay, well, you know what, there they had some reactions. I'm not going to share all of them just for the purposes of time here. But one of the responses covered in that article from the Crypto Basic came from John Dean's crypto organization. And Crypto Law wrote the following. Because there was a clip of shared by Dai and it was just goes on for 6 minutes, and this guy, Aaron Kaplan, saying things that clearly illustrates when it comes to securities laws, he does not know what the ever-loving hell it is that he's talking about, but his mouth was moving, that's for damn sure. So Crypto Law said very odd. Nothing about the cases he cited, nor even the Hinman speech itself, or were the warnings he got from the SEC staff about the speech support the notion that the token is a security. It is the one universal agreement and everyone's how we analysis that the asset itself is never a security, except, of course, in the SEC's legal theory in the Ripple case. So this guy doesn't seem to get anything except to cheer on the SEC with erroneous arguments. And that is peculiar, isn't it? Because outside of this, nobody's seen the token itself as a security. That's just this novel theory. The SEC is arguing in the SEC v Ripple case. And they're arguing it's in the Coinbase lawsuit as well. I covered that in a video the other day. They're really doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on that nonsense. But this guy is arguing it as if it's some sort of, legal precedent at this point in time. So for the reasons he's doing, I don't know. It looks weird. It looks fishy. I can't tell you, it doesn't seem to currently pass the smell test. Right. That's all I can tell you at this point. I don't have any additional thoughts on that. Except what broke today. Actually, let me mention this verse. This is awesome. June 16th. Blockchain Association requests informed from Promethean. Over suspicious approval. So I'm not the only one that didn't think that it didn't pass. It didn't pass the smell test. Check. The United States Crypto Lobby Group Blockchain Association has filed a request with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission seeking information about the formerly little-known crypto company Prometheum. The company became the center of the crypto industry's attention this week, when its CEO Aaron Kaplan testified at a House hearing and gave its support of regulating crypto under securities laws, and the SEC, and position that's starkly opposite to other vocal proponents of the industry. On June 15, Blockchain Association Counsel Marissa Kapil said the group filed the Freedom of Information Act request to the SEC seeking documents and communications related to Prometheum. And so I don't need to read the rest of it. I just wanted to share with you, I'm not the only one that thinks that this is wacky and sounds weird. We've all been talking about this in the XRP community. It's very peculiar. This company comes out of nowhere and happens to be perfectly in sync with arrogance. I mean, the stuff that this guy says, the Syrian Catholic guy says, it might as well be Gary Gensler. He's just like, it's the same damn human effectively. And he also apparently may have been lying to Congress. Oops, doodles. So here's the latest news is from Bitcoin.com. U.S. Senator expresses concern over Prometheum Co. CEO's congressional testimony. And so what's covered here? This is what highlights the information from Crypto.ed, which is the threat, a huge part of the thrust of what is covered here, because I'll just tell you here, before going through the article, in the video clip, I'm covered by Crypto.ed. This guy Aaron Kaplan. He acknowledges that that's a Chinese firm that they're working with here. They're literally just partners. You know that, like, isn't co-founders like it's the same freaking company effectively. That, as it turns out, is in direct conflict with what he told Congress. That is not what he said to Congress. And there are serious implications. You'll see as we go through this. So check it out. Piece reads as follows: Republican Senator Thomas Tuberville from Alabama believes the digital asset firm Prometheum should be investigated by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Department of Justice. In addition to Tuberville, the Republican lawmakers Mark Alfred Blaine, Lutz Kumbaya, Ralph Norman, Byron Donalds, and Barry Loudermilk have also signed the letter we write to express concern that Prometheum Inc. may have provided false testimony to Congress or violated a securities law, the letter detail, and I'll post a note. Having listened to the clip, it does seem that way. So I won't go so far as to say definitively that is indeed the case, that law was broken. I'm not going to go quite that far. I can't imagine what the response would be though. So let's go a little bit further. Senator Tuberville points out that Prometheus co-CEO Aaron Kaplan testified before the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Financial Services, stating that the company began developing its technology platform independently from its China-based partners in December 2019. However, audited financial statements and SEC filings indicate that Prometheum continued to rely on its partnership with OneChain and HashKey subsidiaries of China-based entities well into 2021. The senator emphasizes that the audited financial statements for 2020 included in Prometheus SEC filings clearly state that the company relies on OneChain as its sole project developer. The loss of OneChain services could ostensibly have a significant adverse effect on Prometheum's ability to develop and maintain its platform, raising questions about the claimed independence from its Chinese partners. If Prometheum began developing its own technology platform totally independent of its China-based CCP-tied partners in December 2019, as Mr. Kaplan attempted to lead Congress to believe in his congressional testimony, why was this not made clear in Prometheum's SEC filings? The letter asks Garland and Gensler. Senator Tuberville urges Garland and Gensler to conduct a thorough review of Prometheum's statements to Congress, its audited financial statements and SEC funds. Yeah, so again, not just that, but there's literally what could potentially be a smoking gun, this video clip from Crypto.ed, where he's just saying yes, there's our best friends over here. OneChain, oh, okay. Please continue. The alleged consents to consistencies in these documents raise concerns about potential false statements to Congress and securities fraud through misleading SEC filings. The letter discloses. The senator concludes by highlighting the seriousness of making false statements to Congress, which constitutes a crime, and the implications of submitting false or misleading statements and SEC filings, which constitutes securities fraud. Tuberville insists that the conflicting statements made by Prometheum in different forums, combined with its ties to China-based entities with CCP connections, underscore the need for a copy of comprehensive investigation. And so there you go. Down here, I'll just pull this up. I don't feel the need to read through all of this. This will make the broader points. But if you want to see the part in question, here's footnote 9 where I'm circling. You can pause right here and read through this particular page if you want. In fact, I'll just put all 4 pages in case anybody actually wants to pause for each one of them. There's page 1, there's page 2. You guessed it, page 3's. Next, you're good at numbers. And then there was also this one, just with some more signatures. So here you can see though on page 3 again, so this is what was referenced 9 where I'm circling, a footnote down here. Symptoms sumo stava, that is Crypto Eddie, my friends. Cool stuff. It never ceases to amaze me the stuff that the XRP community uncovers and how impactful it is in the real world. Cool stuff. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.